Hi everyone, old guy here. Now, why in the world did I read this one? You know, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, which means I have an American edition, because if it was an original first edition UK, it would say Philosopher's Stone, and I'd be rich. I read it because it's about time I did. Now, I enjoyed the movies, even the rather dark ones where I didn't really know what was going on because I had not read those books. And the movies assumed a familiarity with the source material that would fill any gaps anyone had, which movies shouldn't do. They should stand on their own as inspired by the source material, not reliant on it. Of course, I am fully aware that if one of those movies deviated even one iota from the source material, then there would be worldwide nuclear attack against the studio. Sort of what happened to Peter Jackson, although I found his Ring adaptations to be straight-up masterpieces. Difference is, Tolkien fans are generally baby boomers, so we're not upset by such things. Customer service, kids who think we don't know how to run computers. We invented them, for goodness sake. And the constant pursuit of a car warranty renewal do, of course, upset us. But I do completely understand the rage when a cherished childhood icon is violated. New Adventures of Johnny Quest, anyone? I didn't set out to read this. I just happened to have a copy of it. Actually, a couple of copies, as well as a couple of the follow-ons. Like, you know, I've got this one, and this one, and this one, and I'll bet I've actually got all of them. I don't know. It is a literary crime to own books you have not read. I don't really remember how I got these books, picked them up here and there, and they languished thereafter because I do not read YA books as a rule. Well, more accurately, as a category. If a book I'm reading happens to be so classified as YA, it's coincidence more than anything. See, YA... Okay, I'm having trouble with the lighting on this camera because it's a cheap camera. Let me go flip on a light. See if that helps. Does that help? Probably not. See, YA did not exist as a category when I was growing up. There were children's books, kids' books, teenage books, and books. Children's books were like Mother Goose and Little Golden Books. Kids' books were the Happy Hollisters and the We Were There series, which, by the way, I happen to have an actual copy of one of them. Written by Clayton Knight. Wasn't he the Lone Ranger? Teenage books were S.E. Hinton types, you know, the ones where someone's always trying to teach us a lesson. And then there were books. Herman Hesse, Heinlein, Dune, that stuff. This YA label seems to me an extension of teenage books for people who should have graduated on to regular books. But marketing is marketing, world without end, amen. And since I'm trying to make amends for my literary crimes, I am reading them. There is, of course, no reason to give you a synopsis because you already know the entire story. I knew it intimately going in, and I fairly ignored these books for decades. Such is the power of popular culture. You can appropriate an expertise you don't really have. So the bigger question is, knowing the story as intimately as we do, is it worth going back a few decades to read the book that started it all? Yes. Yes, it is. Because this is pretty good. It is surprisingly much better read than I thought it would be. I was prepared for adolescent tropes where everything is assumed on the simple basis that one is 10 to 14 years old and no actual writing or description is necessary. But J.K. Rowling is a damn good writer. Within 10 pages, she creates two separate worlds so vastly different from each other that the conflicts and differences are inevitable. The clashes are expected, and the winner not all that certain. Just by going by the first book, which you have to admit is far more juvenile than the rest of the titles, you find yourself rooting for Harry Potter, but not sure he's going to triumph. Once all the novelty of his new life wears off, you know full well that there isn't going to be smooth sailing. There is a greater sense of danger and failure in the book than in the movies. Again, testament to Rowling's skill. Does that mean I'm going to keep reading the series, the rest of the books I've got? Well, maybe. Again, the familiarity with the story makes reading it feel like a test review. You're just going over material you've already mastered. But I want to pay for my literary transgressions, and somewhere along the line, I will read the other books that I've got, the other Harry Potter books. Or risk imprisonment. Old guy here. See you later.